What's up, everybody? JWMaher here with Why We Love Horror. This is kind of like unprecedented times we're living in. This is not something we've ever done on the channel before. I don't know if it's anything we'll be able to do in the future. It's going to depend on the situation and the times we live in. But let's give a little bit of background here. I was in high school in the 90s. I remember when the first Scream came out, and I remember, and I've said it before on other channels, the state of slasher movies right around the time Scream came out. People were like writing off slasher movies when Scream came out, and Wes Craven and Kevin Williamson were an unstoppable team, and they put out Scream, and they kind of changed the landscape, and they saved it. They saved it for years to come. I did not know that 30 years later, Kevin Williamson would come back to try to destroy what he created with Scream 7. There are some people I'm sure are very happy with Scream 7. However, a lot of people making reviews here on YouTube, a lot of people across the internet are very unhappy with Scream 7. So I figure there's enough people in the community, myself, Aaron, who'll be joining us soon, maybe some special guests will be joining us later, are all pretty unhappy with Scream 7. So it's our first ever Scream 7 Why We Love Horror presents the live complaint department. You'll see scrolling at the bottom of the screen and in the description of this video for the duration of the time we are live here on YouTube. You can click on that StreamYard link. You will come right into the StreamYard, and I'll put you on screen. You can say whatever you want. If you want to defend the movie, I'm cool with you coming on and defending the movie too. It's fine by me. When Aaron gets here, he's going to be very upset. I'm just upset with what I saw at Screen 7. And I think it's fair. If you are here, if you are watching this video, if you engage with this video at all, you should expect that there will be spoilers. So I'll keep the spoiler tag up the whole time. Like if you're here and watching and you have not seen Scream 7, do not watch this video. We are going to be going off on this movie, nitpicking it to hell. I feel, and I think a lot of other commentators have already said this about the movie. I think Kevin Williamson especially just banked really hard that nostalgia would float this movie to like 5 stars across the board. It did not, even to the point that there's like some scenes in the movie, in particular the leather jacket scene, where like I'm not saying somebody wouldn't appreciate that, but it really is a kind of weird detail to like build a scene around. Like Sidney Prescott's daughter finds the leather jacket that Sidney wore in Scream 2, and she's like wearing it out of the house. And like I've seen Scream 2 countless times. I couldn't have necessarily picked out the fact that this girl is wearing the jacket she's wearing from that movie. I'm sure sycophants, some of whom are in this community, would recognize it right away, and they got a real kick out of it. But I would argue 95% of the community did not know or care or realize what was going on until like a minute into that scene where they're having an argument over this jacket. I'm sure Kevin Williamson thought it was genius and that it would be appreciated. I don't think so, and I feel like that happens numerous times throughout this film. I want to say when I came out of the theater last night, I saw it Thursday night, that I didn't want to like give it a bad review. I didn't want to give it a bad score. I feel like the franchise itself has built up enough goodwill with me that I felt bad thinking the movie was bad. And there were enough scenes in the movie that are fun and like just some ideas that were fun, but the fun ideas and why they're fun don't really feel like they're in the spirit of Scream. Like a lot of the ways the kills are done in this movie are not in the spirit of how kills are done in Scream, to be honest. Like there's a lot, like for example, just going right to the cold open. Jimmy Tatro, the guy from American Vandal, is, they're in the Maher house, the Airbnb, him and his girlfriend are there. And they do like a very graphic, realistic head stabbing. And like his eyes roll back in his head. And it's like kind of, and not that Scream isn't like over the top, but it's not like in the style of Scream. Like they've never done that before. So like right from the beginning, I was like, this feels different. Like this does not feel like what Wes Craven did. This does not feel like what Radio Silence even did. This is something totally different. And there's definitely a lot of scenes in the movie where they go over the top, and we're going to get into that later. And there's also some scenes where they kind of borrowed like the nitpicky things I didn't like about how Radio Silence dealt with the Scream property. Like there's a lot of scenes where like characters are getting like wrecked. There's one particular character who gets like absolutely wrecked and survives. And I think it's cheap when somebody takes damage that would kill everybody and just inexplicably survives for a long time. Yeah, I do expect Aaron to be here shortly, and if you are watching, feel free to jump in the stream anytime, and we'll get into I'll just start talking about like my biggest complaint in the movie. And again, spoilers if you're here, if you're watching this even after the fact, spoilers, kids. One of the people they cast in this movie, and when I saw the cast, like in my mind, I think I had picked out like who the killers probably would be if they were characters of any note in the movie. And this one person who I saw when they were in the cast, I was like, that's a killer. Anna Camp is in this movie. I'm like, if there's a killer, she's a killer. And wouldn't you know it, I was 100% right. She is revealed to be one of the killers. However, she is in the movie for like 2 scenes. Like she is not, like she is just the mother of one of the kids. Like she's not really in the movie. Like some facts are dropped about her. And I think one of the complaints I've heard in other reviews of Scream 7 is that they don't develop the characters at all. And this woman is not developed at all, aside from some throwaway lines and throwaway dialogue. And literally, I think 2 times we see her in the movie. Like we see her in the beginning, like when there's like the attack at the house, she's there. And I think we see her when she comes in the coffee shop. So maybe 3 times we see her. I don't know. But honestly, in the times we see her, if the total amount of time she's on screen before she's revealed as the killer tops 5 minutes, I'd be flabbergasted. I don't think she was on the screen for more than 5 minutes. However, if you're not familiar with Anna Camp, I looked up some stats. She's 5'5", right? So she's 5'5". She's a regular like petite woman. I guess she's a little bit bigger than petite, but she is smaller. She's smaller than me, right? And her son, who's played by Asa German, I think. He's a regular sized, like healthy teenage boy. He's around 6 feet tall. I think he's about 180 pounds. When there is a scene wherein, like, and again, it's her son. Like she's the killer. And by process of elimination, she's the person that's with the son. So she actually kills her own son, which is a whole other thing I'll talk about later. But again, this is a 5'5". I'm going to say like she's within the range of 120 to 130. I'm going to imagine. Sorry if I'm getting her weight wrong. He's a bigger dude. There's a scene where she picks him up, or Ghostface picks him up by his head. He's not even like hanging onto her arms. He's just being picked up by his head, and her arms are fully extended, and picking him up off the ground above her head and then impaling his head on something. Like the amount of strength it takes to full arm extended lift 100 and something pounds of dead weight is more than any 120-pound woman could have. And here is our first guest. Christina, I know you were upset about the movie. Have at it. I'll agree with whatever you say.
First of all, Joe McHale. Why? And am I dumb? Is he not the same name as the guy we all thought she was married to the first time with the same profession? Although this is not a recast, it's a totally different guy who just happens to be named Mark and also happens to be a police officer.
Her first husband was Mark Kincaid. He was a police officer. And this guy is Mark Evans, also a police officer. Yes.
Right. So I low-key was like, when she got into bed, and I was like, who the F is this guy? Did we just actually recast Patrick Dempsey? And then I was like, I don't even think it's the same name. So she married another Mark who's a police officer. What are we actually doing here? So automatically then I was like, I'm out. I don't want to watch this movie anymore because I'm annoyed.
Yeah, and then also like they have other. Like they say she has 3 kids, and they do like this throwaway scene where like the 2 little girls are with the grandmother in Denver. But like, so is her daughter Tatum not his daughter, and she's Patrick Dempsey's daughter? Like they don't explain anything. Like Kevin Williamson just throws a bunch of crap out and like expects you to figure it out.
Yeah, I mean, she kept referring to him as dad, like Cindy be like, "Go get dad, go get your dad." But like in Scream 4 or 5, or I think it was 5, where she's like with the stroller on the phone with Dewey, she has like young girls. So she said girls, like plural. So I don't understand the age difference. I don't understand the gaps. I don't understand anything. I don't understand why she wasn't married to the first guy, because I feel like that was either heavily implied or confirmed that her husband was Patrick Dempsey from Scream 3. Yeah. And now we're casting Joel McHale. Get out of here with that nonsense.
I also want to say, like, I was just talking about this before you came in. Like, Joel McHale's character is the character I was referring to that he takes, like, and this is like the radio silence thing. Like, there's always one character that gets stabbed too many times to survive. He gets royally fucked up. There's no way any human being would survive the stabbing this guy takes.
Yeah. And not only does he survives with strength to wield a pocket knife to get his daughter out of restraints.
Yes. And we'll get, I mean, I know you don't have much time to hang out, and we could break down the killer reveal scene like so much. Like, for example, first of all, there's 3 killers in this movie. And the first killer is a guy we see on screen for like literally 10 seconds. It's just some dude. He's just a creepy dude.
Yeah.
And then he's doing all the killing in the beginning of the movie, and he's like taking out like the entire Evans family. Like, it's 3-on-1, and he's like getting hit in the face with the mailbox, like all this bullshit. And then he stumbles into the street, and Gale Weathers runs him over. Gale gets into the movie by just running this guy over with a car. It's like,
I did appreciate that entrance. I will take that as pretty badass.
It was badass, but it felt like, didn't it feel forced?
Yeah, I mean, you just needed them at some point, but I was just like, and then Sydney's like, this was too easy. There's got to be more. And I'm like, yeah. No, I don't know. This was clearly like a love letter to Neve Campbell / a huge apology. I don't even know how many times they said the word New York. I should have been there. You should have been there. You weren't there. You weren't in New York. Blah, 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 blah. The stupidity of everyone. I get it's a horror movie and they make dumb decisions, but it's like, girl, your mom is Sidney Prescott. I know she didn't talk to you about a lot of this shit, but like, you've seen all the movies. She wrote a book about it, and you were safely barricaded in an office. You shot a guy through the wall, and then you were like, I'll just leave.
Yeah. And also, you're right. Like, she didn't have to leave the office. They didn't have to leave the safe room. The safe room, by the way, is the shittiest design safe room, because they go into the safe room, and then in the back of the safe room is like a not secret passageway to get out of the house via like a sliding panel in the crawl space, which just detaches, which means if I'm outside of her house, I could just kick that thing in and walk into her master bedroom if I had figured that out. Like, that's not a panic. That's not a panic room at all.
Right. Yeah. It was just, I don't know. I feel like, I think it was clearly obvious what happened was they had an original script. They lost their 2 leads and then still needed to redo the movie. I mean, the ending reveal, the finale, the final act was horrible. The killers were horrible. They had no real motive. Ethan Embry, my dude, I hope that is not what you actually look like.
That's pretty much what he's looking like now. I mean, he's
that was
like
concerning.
I think
the hairline was not the problem. I just thought I was like the coloring of his whole body was a lot.
Yeah. He's also another character that's in the movie for like a grand total of 2.5 minutes, maybe, before he's revealed as a killer. Like, he has one scene in the movie before he's like revealed as a killer. And I think every single Scream movie before this, every person that's revealed is at least in the movie for like 10-15 minutes.
Yeah, they're a little bit more of a major player.
Yeah. And then another thing that really, really bothered me is like Ethan Embry's character, because they give you all the exposition dump right after they take their hoods off. Apparently he's like an AI expert, which is why they like deep fake Stu Macher and and Billy's mother and Roman Bridger and Dewey. They deep fake all these people. So we've gone beyond voice changers. Now we're just deep faking video.
We deep fake them, but they look current.
Exactly.
Instead of looking like
That's my point. Like, Scott Foley shows up and it's like old Scott Foley. It's like, well, when Roman died, he was like 30. We'll say he was 30 when he died.
Right.
It's the Scott Foley on the screen is like 60. It's like, what are you doing? De-age him. Like, at least de-age him,
Right.
Like David Arquette is current David Arquette. I mean, he was old when he died, I guess. Laurie Metcalf, I'll give a pass. The whole Stu thing, Matthew Lillard, they were trying to make you believe he was still alive, so I'll give that a pass. The Scott Foley deepfake is unforgivable, and that should not happen.
Yep.
And also, if you're like an AI expert, like, and technically, I guess they're in California, like if you're like an AI West Coast expert, how do you go from being a cutting edge AI person to now I'm an orderly in a mental hospital? I don't get that.
And no longer is she still in California?
They're either in I'm never clear where they are because like they send the kids to. They're in Colorado.
Anthony just awoke from slumber. He said they're in Texas.
They're in Texas? All right. Okay, so they're in Texas. Was that
right.
said?
So like the beginning of the movie still takes place in Woodsboro.
Yes.
And then they go from California to Texas.
But her kids are her kids with the grandmother in Colorado. Like they really
correct.
And they mentioned New York about 1,000 times. So the point that is the motive of Anna Camp's character, that Sydney didn't. She went on the rampage because Sydney didn't go to New York. Like that.
Right.
She murdered her own son so horrifically that the kid can't be buried in an open casket because Sydney didn't go to New York. That's her motive.
And he was an a-hole like his father.
I don't. My kid's an asshole. I don't think I would impale his head on a spike. I mean, just saying, like, a little bit of dignity.
Even if beer would then come out of his deceased mouth.
I mean,
maybe potentially.
He'd have to really piss me off for me.
Yeah.
To do that to him.
I mean, I would at least show him the clip and be like, "Bro, this could be you. Check yourself."
Is Anthony still awake? I gotta ask him because he lifts weights. I gotta ask him a question.
I'm here.
He's here.
All right. Anthony, seeing as we narrowed down Anna Camp as the killer in the bar, how much strength do you think you would need to lateral raise a dead weight 180-pound kid up over your head and impale his head? Because she's only using her shoulders to lift him off the ground.
I mean, it's not a lateral raise, it's a front raise.
Come over.
Front
do you want to be on camera or not?
No, I'm just laying here.
Okay.
A lot. I mean, I see some pretty strong girls at the gym, but Anna Camp is not one of them.
Well, they were both. We're both
do you
killers.
Do you see girls with 2 90-pound dumbbells front raising?
No. Listen, okay. I'm pretty strong, and that's a hard no for me.
I mean, truthfully, there's a better chance of her like hip thrusting up.
Yeah, he said she should have hip thrusted him on there. Then that would have been believable.
Yeah,
I would believe that. And just like, and then she also picks up the one girl by the back of her pants and her head and throws her onto the bar and like.
Well, like there was a few times. Yeah, where like the kicks would like launch them 7 feet. Where I'm like, the whole point of this is that you're fighting an actual person in a mask. Like it's no different than if they were to attack you without a mask. Like you're just fighting a human being. Like there should be no supernatural abilities happening here.
Yeah,
so like
the killers were real strong. They were crazy. It was like Kevin Williamson was taking liberties. For sure. And,
but my biggest gripe is the husband for sure. I also don't like Joel McHale, so like get him off my screen.
For some reason, he's having some kind of like horror renaissance because he was in like It's a Wonderful Life too. He's passable, but I just didn't. Like, again, my whole issue with him was like he should have just died. Like, just kill people. Just kill people. And you're 100% right. Like the blood loss and the trauma, but he has the wherewithal to like pull out a pocket knife and slice her free, and no one notices the whole time.
Right.
And then
they were too busy. They were too busy explaining their shitty motives.
Yeah, and then another weird like just digression from the other Scream movies is like, you know, Gail's interviewing Sydney on live television. Gail who never takes no for an answer is interviewing Sydney on live television. Sydney just bails, and she bails on foot. And Gail never follows her. Like this is a first. Like what? Since when does Gail not follow Sydney?
I kept waiting for that to happen. Like I kept waiting. Like I don't know. Everyone's just running around. But even the daughter, like someone help me. Like girl, there's a curfew. Just keep running. Like just keep going. Like, and I don't have that kind of endurance. But you're literally running for your life. So you either have to just keep going, or you better like figure out an actual place to hide because you're just like being dumb right now. Sydney running. Yeah. Gail not coming. Like, cause Gail's not seen again really until like,
Gail
she even seen again until the very end.
Yeah, she's not even there for the very end of the movie. She shows up. She does nothing. Like
Right.
Dale's just absent.
Much better.
So also, you have a town under like curfew. There's no police enforcing the curfew. Like in the beginning of the movie, there's like all these police cars, like they're securing the house, they're canvassing the neighborhood. But when people are running around the middle of town, screaming their heads off and getting killed on the street, you don't see one cop. Nor are there people, I guess, living in the apartments above the businesses either.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, and you do have like the throwaway scene where Chad's like, "Well, this guy was in the attic. He should have gotten in somehow." But we have no video footage of that.
Yeah. They go back 3 days. So this guy was just like
Right.
in the attic for 4 days. I'm gonna doubt it.
Right. He just didn't go back far enough.
Yeah. And then the one other thing is like, so they do a bunch of like, you know, passable red herring stuff. Like there's the scene where Tatum discovers the like that her boyfriend was trying to recreate the deep fakes on his computer, and she blasts him in the face with a laptop twice and knocks him out. Ghostface doesn't kill him because it allows him to. How did he know where she was?
Right.
Like,
he's just also running around.
Like he blasts her, she blasts him in the face, knocks him out in the front seat of the car. She runs for minutes across town, and then she's hiding, and he knows exactly where she's hiding, even though Ghostface doesn't know where she is. Like everything's just too convenient.
Well, and it also like they took away the full mystery of it because within seconds, because it's like, oh, okay, you were Ghostface following her, and then you've ditched the costume and then got her. And then 2 seconds later, they were like, nope, he's not really the Ghostface. We're not going to let that lingering theory go. We're just going to murder him.
Right away.
You're like, yeah, right away. So like, you don't even have that. There was no wonder. There was no really trying to figure like the mystery aspect of the movie that typically is my favorite part. They just were like, we're not even including that anymore because anyone you suspect, we're just going to kill them.
There was nobody who they built up even had a chance because they were so busy. Just they knew the killers were going to be like nobodies. They were basically nobodies. Which brings me to like the whole reveal scene is like probably the weakest killer reveal scene we've ever had. And then
by far.
Yeah, then the final fight, like even when it gets down to the end, like when they do the final jump where like Anna Camp runs out and gets shot, they shoot her way too many times. Like they shoot her like 30 times. It's crazy. Yeah. It's overkill of overkill. I don't know if Ethan Embry just gets one to the dome and he's done.
Yeah. Well, they needed her face to fall off.
Yeah, they blew her face off, which I guess you know that's what you get for doing that to your kid. Any other major points you want to discuss that besides the whole movie being bad?
Justice for Patrick Dempsey. He's hot and he should have been in the movie. And I'm just mad that this whole time I'm either the dumbest person ever or they lied to me and made it seem like she was married to somebody else. And also, if you're being chased by a killer and you are successfully barricaded, stay there and call 911 with your working cell phone.
Yeah, no one ever calls the police, right? They just call each other. They're just texting and calling each other.
As the dad is the chief of police, you would also think that if you're the chief of police, there would be police presence surrounding your family.
Yeah, there was
which, I mean, I know we've tried in other movies, but like, which never worked in other movies. So I guess they were like, we'll just forget that part.
Also, did they ever explain like why the house is like under construction? Like the front of the house, you can't even tell it's under construction, but then half the house is under construction. I don't know what they're building.
Anthony said it's just the garage. I think there was like a throwaway line right in the beginning. Like he goes out and like talks to the to the crew.
So it's just the garage. The garage felt done. The doors were installed.
Right. It was just like missing a wall.
Yeah.
Which seems like you would have done the wall before you did the doors, but whatever. Yep. It was just, it was not great. Not good. It was a bad time.
I did not have fun either. I out of respect, I gave it like a very middling rating. But then when I woke up and after I slept on it, I've just been angry all day.
Yeah, I mean, whatever. Good job, Nev Campbell, for getting your bag. But I believe our good friend Aaron said in our chat earlier that this is basically written by a super fan, and it was an apology to Nev Campbell all put together.
That seems right. But that's something that should have just been done in private. It didn't need to be like publicly.
It was just like all the Reddit. It seemed like it was everybody's Reddit theories for the last couple of years of what the plot's going to be. and they just kind of picked and choose a little bit from each one and threw it all together in one movie.
They did kill off everyone in the flannel too, just so that Reddit theory didn't win.
Oh, apparently Anthony said they also killed off everybody in a flannel, which was apparently a Reddit theory.
Oh, all right.
All the killers had like a blue flannel for like every single.
Oh wait, can we also talk about why their Scream outfits were sparkly in this movie? Did you notice that?
Not only were they a little bit sparkly, but they went out of their way to do like that, like the mask fades in the background and then fades.
Yes.
They loved that special effect. They could not, like, they're like, guys, we did it. It looks good. Let's do it like 15 times.
Yeah, they did do it a lot. But I was like, I don't understand why we're bedazzled in this one. So yeah, if you like a bedazzled ghost face, purely, yeah, really going against logic and smart decisions, and having Joel McHale as your love interest, this movie is for you.
Also, you know, Mindy and Chad show up. I can't believe we left Mindy and Chad out.
I love Mindy and Chad. I have no issues with them. I know people are haters of them. I always thought they were funny.
I don't hate them.
Whatever.
I feel this movie kind of actually, I'm actually the opposite. I feel this movie kind of did them a little dirty for like two reasons. One, I don't think either of them ever expressed any like love of Gail or want to be in the media in Scream 5 or Scream 6. But suddenly in this movie, they're like Gail's bitch interns, like, which is a weird way to just shoehorn them into the movie. And then also they're dispatched, like, they're not killed, of course, they can't get killed, but like they don't even fight. It's just like,
yeah.
And then we never see them again.
Yeah. I think for them, it was just kind of like you went through these two traumatizing experiences. Because when did 5 and 6 was 5 before the pandemic, and then 6 was like 22-ish?
It was like 22 and 23. So it was like kind of like they're both like tail end pandemic.
Okay. So I just feel like since then too, like the influencer content creator thing has like popped off. So I could just see them using like Gail as like a credibility of just like becoming a legitimately recognized content creator is my headcanon for them being around her.
Fair enough. All right.
Yeah.
I think we've like gone through the movie enough, and I'm still waiting on Aaron. I'm still waiting on all these other folks, but like I do appreciate you popping in. If you or Anthony have any last points you want to throw out, I'm happy to continue to shit on this movie.
I feel like I'm telling you, my biggest thing, I was heated about the husband thing because I feel like I've been bamboozled. So that's where I don't appreciate that.
Patrick Dempsey was in Thanksgiving. He clearly has no objection to being in movies like this. They should have. Why couldn't they just get Patrick Dempsey? I don't know.
At this point, you should have just had her be divorced and not even have a husband, because it was weird. This was weird. In what world are you married to a man named Mark who is a police officer, and then you marry another man named Mark who is also a police officer? That is crazy pants to me.
It's safe and familiar.
It's so lazy. If he's not the same guy, change his freaking name. You had 8 million throwaway lines. You can't do anything with, I know Tatum is my first husband's, whatever. And like, you've been a great stepdad. And there we go. And we move on with our life.
Also, what did you think of the extremely long Tatum speech at the end of the movie?
Oh, I didn't mind that. It's whatever. I feel like at that point, Tatum, the kid, just needed something.
All right, fair. Like, we're gonna just give you all the inspiration you needed now after the fact.
Yeah, I mean, I just thought it was also weird that like Sydney never wanted to talk to her daughter about this. Like, I get what, like, you're not going to talk to your 10-year-old and be like, do you want to hear about the time all of mommy's friends were murdered? But like some point, right. Like at this point, at some point, she's old enough. There's literal, like she says, there's movies and books written about this, and she's probably been exposed to them and seen them. You should then follow that up. Yeah. I don't know. Or like maybe you could have gotten your kid in like any sort of some self-defense training, karate her whole life, because you could have had her join karate at 4 years old and she could have been an experienced martial artist this whole time. If you live in, Anthony, I think, corrected himself and said they live in Indiana. Either way, if you live in Texas or Indiana, they probably, encourage gun use and like proper gun safety. So like you could have gotten your daughter involved in that, and that also wouldn't have been like a weird thing to do. So I don't know. I just like to have to be Sidney Prescott and have your child be completely unprepared seems crazy to me.
You should have put him in some Krav Maga or something. Definitely. Yeah, you're 100% right. Like I would like Sydney should have been like full survivalist, especially after like they have the throwaway line in Scream 6 where it's like, oh, she's in hiding. Like she took the kid, she's in hiding. Well, clearly she had the ability to do it. And I guess they were trying to do that again because they kind of have that throwaway line here where like, Tatum, where's your go bag? It's like, oh, I unpacked that thing years ago. You know? So like, I guess there's like some kind of like they did the opposite of what you said. Like basically, like Sydney had all these plans, and like she allowed her daughter to like just dismiss it, I guess, and she became soft. But she picked up shooting a gun in like what, an hour? Like you know, she picks up the gun, blows him away. At the end of the movie, she's blowing the girl away. Yeah, it's like whatever. She's fine.
She's Sidney effing Prescott's daughter. Duh.
Oh yeah, right. That's right.
Yeah, I just feel like this movie is like not canon. Like that's kind of where we are. Like they made their movies and then this was like, I feel like this was like a fanfic that like got a budget to be a movie.
If at the end of the movie they panned out and the whole thing was somebody doing an AI experiment on a computer, that would have made sense.
Yeah, like that's like, kind of how I felt about it. Would I watch it again? Probably because I like the Scream movies, but like it's not up there for me.
I'll say one positive thing, and I feel like you agree on this. It's like when no matter how bad of a movie is, if it's a Scream movie, you know, whatever your rankings of Scream are, like you at least know you're watching a Scream movie, and the vibes feel like a Scream movie. This one's maybe a little bit less, but I still knew I was watching a Scream movie because certain beats were right. So like if you allow your mind to go there, you can ignore everything because you're still watching a Scream movie.
Right.
That's kind of, I think, why people are like being forgiving about it, because like some of the old gags are still around, you know.
Yeah, I just feel like it wasn't even that meta. We could use a little bit more meta.
I agree, because even when Mindy's giving the speeches, like Chad's just like, "Shut up, shut up, we're not doing this. Shut up." Yeah,
like it would have been nice if she was actually right in predicting the killer, or even just throw away like creepy kid like your mom seems weird. Just like, I don't know, like offhand, just anything.
You know, they point towards none of the killers ever.
Yeah. No.
It's not even, it's like when they're like, oh yeah, Stu, come up here and take your mask off. I was like, in my mind, I was like, well, we haven't seen the mom in a long time. I guess it's her. And I was right. It was her. It's like, yeah, because like they, you know, when they do the marketing for these Scream movies, they show you the cast. Right. So, you know, the killer's never has the killer not been in the group. And they did have stills of Ethan Embry and Anna Camp. So I kind of figured these guys are good candidates. Obviously, the third killer, the throwaway killer, is not part of the cast, but he gets like a, you know, like a twirl your mustache, like 5-second thing earlier in the movie. But
yeah, picking up his latte.
Yeah, Carl. I'm just disappointed with the whole thing. Pretty much. Yeah,
it just seems like they got to the end of the movie and they like pulled out of a hat, like, who's our killer going to be? All right, suit up for the big reveal. Like, it was like, you're left. So go ahead.
I would say, since you're sticking around for a bit, I don't know. I think Aaron's having some issues at home, but we'll just do some ratings and then we'll just close this out. I do appreciate you stopping by. So let me just
sounds good.
Christina, out of 5, what would you rate this?
I'll give it a 2.5.
That's exactly where I'm at. I'm also at a 2.5. It was originally at a 3, and basically my 2.5 is just out of respect. Like I don't want to drop into a 2 or lower. I'm not as vicious as Aaron, but like I can't in good conscience give this a 3 or a heart or anything. It's just like this. I was grossly disappointed by this thing.
Yeah. Yeah, the half is basically because some of the kills were cool, and we're gonna call it like that's about it.
I would agree. That's exactly my sentiment. Yeah. Like, there's some scenes that were fun. I had fun, but like it's not a Scream movie to me. It's like adjacent to Scream.
Yeah.
It feels like Kevin Williamson directed it.
Yeah. Well, yeah, it's like a spin-off movie. That's kind of where I'm at.
Yeah, it's like a car. It's like a bad old school 80s Xerox copy of Scream.
Yes. Anthony, do you have a rating you want to share? Oh, Anthony's mean. He's going straight 2.
Oh, Anthony with it too. He's such a nice guy usually, but and I know Aaron. I think Aaron had it at a 1.5, so we'll put Aaron's rating up
The
there as
ending
well.
made me unnecessarily angry.
He said the ending made him unnecessarily angry.
The fact that they dragged out that speech for so long, or just the actual fight.
All the above. Pick one.
Okay, so, agree. The fight was like not a good fight.
Yeah,
Like,
I
mean,
will also say my favorite of all of them is 4.
Oh yeah, I also stand part 4. A lot of people don't like part 4.
Yeah,
but I mean I'll put 4 right behind the first one. I like Jill as a killer. I think she's the best one, to be honest.
Yeah, and I'll tell you, I didn't see that one coming at all. So like that to me was like the biggest. That was the biggest reveal out of the whole series, in my opinion, because I didn't see her coming at all.
Yeah, that's part of the reason why I would say that as well.
Yep.
All right, we'll cut it off here. Hey, you can drop some comments if you see this after the fact because you didn't show up live. All you folks that said you show up live, you could drop out after Christine. I'll wrap this up.
All right. Thanks for having me.
No problem. Anytime. See ya. Hey, if you made this far in the video watching it after the fact, like, comment, subscribe, and share. Go to the Facebook group at Why We Love Horror. Check out our Letterboxd challenge here. This will serve as the review for Scream 7. I'll probably even let Aaron have his own separate rant video on Scream 7 on the channel. I don't think he wanted to miss out on this. But until next time, I'm JWMaher. This has been Why We Love Horror. We will see you whenever we do our next thing.